Well, Clay Travis lit up the left today. All it took was one tweet. It says, if you're a Trump supporter in New York City who's a part of the jury pool, do everything you can to get seated on the jury and then refuse to convict as a matter of principle, dooming the case via hung jury. It's the most patriotic thing you could possibly do. And Clay joins us now. Clay, you aren't suggesting that there's a stealth juror that maybe is dishonest during jury selection and totally boots this trial on purpose. Would you be suggesting something like that?
Jesse, you know me. There are few people on the planet with higher standards of just decorum. And as you can well see by the way I am dressed, few people who are just more beloved in the entire legal profession than me. So, Jesse, of course I would say, legally, I want everyone to behave in the absolute perfect fashion. But based on the indictment that we have seen, that you have read, that we have all been talking about for a year now, this is a bogus case. Alvin Bragg should be ashamed of himself for bringing this case, for trying to, pardon the pun, trump up 34 felonies associated with it, and to use a rigged jury pool like he has in New York City to try to curry favor with a 12-person jury. I think Trump, based on all the evidence that I have seen, is innocent of these crimes because, one, I think Alvin Bragg, typically he takes every case that is a felony and drops it to a misdemeanor, right? He does that in over half the cases that he gets. In this case, he's taking a misdemeanor that I believe is outside the statute of limitations, and he is elevating it to a felony based on what I believe is legally insufficient means, trying to use another crime to justify elevating this to a felony. So what I would encourage everybody to do is look at all the facts of these cases, the facts that are already out there. Now, maybe, Jesse, there's some massive smoking gun that has not been revealed yet that could change my impression so far. But based on everything that I have seen, Trump is innocent. I do not believe that he is likely to get a fair jury in New York City based on voting records. And by the way, I would encourage, if you're going to strike anybody from the jury pool, anybody wearing a mask should be gone immediately because they ain't going to be Trump fans, like as a general rule.
Well,
you're not going to get 12.
What if you run
going, I think, to find Trump not guilty, but you might be able to find one or two who will actually apply the law here and say, I'm not going to try to get I'm not going to give a guilty verdict.
Right. So you're not encouraging this, but you wouldn't be surprised if you saw this happening, considering the fact that they've been planning prosecutors, they've been colluding with prosecutors.
Correct.
And everything they've done so far has been completely unprecedented and unfair. You wouldn't be surprised if there were stealth jurors who maybe went in there, with like purple hair.
This is a political hit job. Yeah. Right? Everybody on the planet understands this is a political hit job. So the idea that you're going to find jurors anywhere who have made absolutely no preconditions and haven't analyzed this, they've done everything they can to try to get Trump. I think they're going to fail in D.C. time-wise. In South Florida, we know that Fani Willis, your buddy, is a disaster in Atlanta. They only have this left with Alvin Bragg, and it's the weakest of all the cases. It is bogus. It is illegitimate. And that is both from a legal perspective and just a rational, reasonable man or woman standard. And so I hope that Trump gets a jury that is willing to actually look at all this and realize that this is unprecedented in 240 plus years.
Sure is.
If we want to have a jury, Jesse, I'd rather have a jury of 150 million voters than 12 people in New York City trying to judge Donald Trump. Let's let 150 million people judge, not 12. This is a sham. Everybody knows it.
Well said. And everybody go watch Runaway Jury with John Cusack tonight. Thanks so much.